Hello, everybody, and welcome to my final Crimson Vow draft here on the channel. Before I dive into this epic conclusion to the format, I want to remind you that if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more draft content, and comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. Let's dive on in. Hopefully we open something spicy. Whew, yes. Faithbound Judge counts as spicy. Alternate win condition hype. Just absurdly good card. And it's going to be hard to push us off of white now that we have this guy. So we'll probably be playing white and then something else. White-blue is a good pairing for Faithbound Judge. Pretty much anything is. Control decks are pretty nice with it. Pretty much just great card overall. So we're going to be playing Faithbound Judge almost 100%. If that wasn't in the pack, maybe I'd be taking Whispering Wizard. I kind of like it because it's like a must-answer threat. Other than this pack is well, yawn-worthy is the exact way I would describe it. Okay, so we have Faithbound Judge, so we really want to be playing white, and so we're willing to take like white cards very highly, which means Traveling Minister, even though I might not normally take it here, I think I'm going to take it here because we really want to play the Faithbound Judge. So we know we're playing white. And so we're guaranteed to play the Traveling Minister, whereas any other card we take, we're not 100% to play it. So it's like, would I rather have like 60% of an Abrade or 100% of a Traveling Minister? And in that case, I'm like happy to take the 100% of the Traveling Minister. I think Kindly Ancestor might even be good enough to be worth taking over Abrade here. Bramble Worm probably also wouldn't be the pick. I would probably still take a Braid over that, but yeah, Thirst for Discovery is fine. Oh man, yeah. Graph Reaver is not really a good rare. Just the extra damage it does to you is not really where you want to be. Okay. So Howling Moon is good in like red-green specifically. Brine Comber is just a fantastic card. Blue-white is a great archetype. And the 1/1s it makes can really help you stabilize. I think Perish Blade Trainee is a really bad card. Retrieval is not great. Cradle of Safety is not great. Flame Breather can be good, but I don't think it's as good as the Brine Comber. Not seeing any good white cards in this pack is a little bit worrying, but that's why we have the Faithbound Judge and the Minister. Whew, another good white card. It was just an anomaly. Steelclad Spirit's also fine because when you're playing like a card like Faithbound Judge, you just need to survive, but Fleeting Spirit's much better, and we still could just play like white-green or something. And now Fierce Retribution, this is going perfectly. We're going to be heavy white going into pack 2. Will leave us an opening if we open up another good rare to just switch to whichever color that is. And it looks like white is open, so this is a good situation. This is just the best card in the pack by a mile. Nothing else is even close. If I wasn't taking this, I would take the Vampire Slayer. Okay. Not really a huge fan of any of the cards in this pack. I don't love Griff Rider. It's a very kind of aggressive card, and our deck is set up to be kind of defensive or anything really. This card doesn't really play into that flexible game plan. Binding Geist is okay, plays decently with like self-mill or things like that. I don't know. I don't love the card. It hasn't performed as well as I was hoping it would or thought it would. Gift of Fangs is fine. I guess I could take a white card just so I don't pass any white cards. That seems fine to me. Siphon Essence is pretty good. I'm not really playing an instant speed deck. So I guess I could take Stitched Assistant, but I also don't really have any sack fodder for it, so. Nebelgeist Beguiler is just really bad, so I'm not going to take that. I guess I will take Siphon Essence. Maybe I'll get some like instant speed stuff. I like Nurturing Presence when I have a Brine Comber, because that's just a really good combo. Don't love any of these other cards. Wow. Dawnheart Geist. When you cast an enchantment, gain 2 life. I've been really underwhelmed by the Heron Blessed Geist. I think I had it perform well for me once, and then I started overvaluing it. I could just take Piercing Light as a defensive card. I don't like the Servitor. So this is a great place to be. Pretty much all white cards. Like Siphon Essence. If I can get some instant speed stuff, that could be a good little way to get an advantage. Siphon Essence, definitely a card that I didn't think I would like, but it ends up being pretty solid. Ooh, last pick, Scab. It is Judgment Day. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's insane. Well, I guess we can just build a very defensive deck and then just win with Faithbound Judge. That's hilarious. I can't believe we have two of them. Okay, well, clearly we're taking another Faithbound Judge. Interesting spot here. We should be seeing a lot of white this pack because we didn't pass any white cards in the first pack. I think Steelclad Spirit's good for us, though. Just defensive body helps us survive long enough to win with Faithbound Judge. Cradle of Safety is also an option. Cruel Witness would normally be a consideration, but double blue's hard because our deck has double white cards it wants to play. So we really want to play a 10-3, 10-7 split of plain islands, or get an Evolving Wilds and play like 9-7-1 or something. This is a good pack for us. We'll get to take the Drogskol Infantry and hopefully wheel Piercing Light. Selhoffen Tumor is an option, but I don't really love doing that. And playing 2 Piercing Lights is something I'm hoping not to do, but it is something we could do in theory. Pride Scout is just really slow and clunky. If this was best of 3, I would consider Wanderlight Spirit for the sideboard. This pack is not good. But it's one of those not good packs that just has no good cards. Like, I'm not missing out on anything. I guess I'll take the Gown just in case. Boarded Window, really not a good card. Not looking forward to play that one. Selhoffen Tumor has not been a card that I've been impressed by, though. Maybe this is the deck for it. Play super defensive. Maybe I'll try it out. Could be fun to try out. I'm not super optimistic about it. Take a Throng. I don't think it's very good, though. The combo. Whew. Wow. That is a turnaround. So the deck is looking pretty good. 2 Brine Combers go well with this Nurturing Presence. At this point, I'll play any Nurturing Presences I get. They play well with Cradle of Safety as well. Hoping for a big pack 3. I mean, these are like 12 cards I'd be fine playing. Honestly, these are 11 I'd be happy playing. Ooh, Selhuff and Tumor came back. Goes decently with double Brine Comer. I need to be able to play defensive to just live long enough to win with judges. Servitor. Ambushator. This is a pretty solid deck right now. And I could always play my counter spells. Oh my god. I've just opened up 3 absurd on-color rares. This is just not remotely fair. We have 2 Faithbound judges and a Hullbreaker horror now? Like, what the heck? Well, this is going to be a fun one. Good conclusion to the format. Either we'll lose horribly with a bonkers deck, or we'll crush everybody. So either way, it's pretty funny. Fleeting Spirit or Drogskull Infantry? I'd like to say Fleeting Spirit. The Exile 3 cards ability is sneaky, solid, and being immune to removal is pretty nice. Bye. I think I'll take the Fleeting Spirit. I was thinking between that and the Drogskull Infantry, which might be better. Cobbled Lancer is a card that I've gone down on, especially when a lot of my cards in the graveyard have Disturb. Yeah. Just having a 2-drop is nice, and my deck is very defensive because I now have yet another win condition. Sign me up for Lantern Bearer, I guess. I just want Disturb creatures to go with my Brine Combers, which I think makes it better than Traveling Minister, which would be good in my deck. Winged Portent. Not the best. I have a few flyers, but yeah, Traveling Minister would be good too, just for the life gain. I have some aggression, but I just would rather have the Lantern Bearer because of my Brine Combers. Vampire Slayer or Siphon Essence. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2-drops. I already have 2 Siphon Essences in the sideboard though, so I'll just take the Vampire Slayer. Runo Stormkirk. I'll take Geistlight Snare over Steelclad Spirit. This is going to be a 1-mana counterspell a decent chunk of the time, which is pretty nice. Scattered Thoughts. With that in the mix, I can add back in these Siphon Essences. Play a defensive 2-drop, then start holding up stuff. Geistlight Snare number 2, pretty solid. I mean, I don't want too many Steelclad Spirits. It's only fitting that I take a Ripsaw I can't play. That's kind of been a hilarious theme in this format. Okay, Fear of Death is not the best removal, but I do need some interaction, so I'll take it. Cruella Witness. Cradle. Last pick, Bramble Armor. That's an iconic Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt moment. So 17 lands here. Gonna cut Vampire Slayer. Selhoff and Tumor could be okay. Maybe I cut Cruel Witness. How did my deck become heavier blue than white? I'm going to cut Cruel Witness and then go up to 9 of these and 8 of these. Because I have double Faithbound Judge, so I really need to have double white early. I think this will be pretty solid. Pretty reasonable. Piercing Light, not a card I'm really looking forward to playing, so I think I'll just stick with this Fear of Death, because I do have some stuff that I can mill, which would be good. And it plays well with, like, Geistlight Snare. How many spirits do I have? 10 spirits, yeah. So this Geistlight Snare is doing work. It's like 1 mana leak a lot of the time, which should be fun. Maybe I'll try playing Binding Geist at some point, but I think this is pretty good for now. 2 Cradle of Safeties may be excessive, but with 2 Brine Combers, I'm pretty happy with it. I have a lot to do at instant speed. And yeah, let's see how this deck performs. Let's hope to get the trophy in our final draft, and let's see if I can do it. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my content at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special shout out to those at the credits level. It is thanks to this Patreon support that I'm able to continue spending as much time as I do making videos, and also able to continually upgrade my equipment and make the videos better and better with equipment such as microphones and cameras and lighting and things of that nature. It really does make a big difference, so I'm very grateful for the people who decide to chip in and help me make these videos. If you want to become a patron, it is very simple. You can choose any amount per month, and you can cancel at any time if your circumstances change. And as a patron, you will gain access to exclusive Patreon bonus content as one of the many ways I like to say thank you to my patrons. Anyway, though, I hope you're enjoying the video so far, and without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round 1. On the play, 8 islands in the deck. I'm going to keep this hand. I'll draw an island eventually, and I have a 2-drop to play, so I'll be fine. Obviously, this hand's a lot better if I already have the island. But I'm going to be hitting land drops, so I'll be able to catch up. Uh-oh. And I'm dead. Auspicious start. I guess swapping into planes for an island really was punishing. That hand was borderline, but I think it's keepable. I mean, I drew a plains and a blue spell, but if I'd drawn like a white spell, then I draw an island at my like 4th draw step or something, I'd be fine. Mm-mm. 3 plains, 8 islands in the deck, so every draw step I'm roughly 1 in 4. Maybe it was a mulligan. Especially when my deck has cards like Faithbound Judge in it. That was what I was thinking, was like, oh, I have Faithbound Judges in the deck, and I can cast one of those if I draw them. So those were also outs. Like, I had Islands as outs, and I also had Faithbound Judges as outs. So I had like 10 outs. Wow. I'm just going to hold up Geist Snare and Cradle of Safety. Seems worthwhile. Obviously not going to just hold up Scattered Thoughts because I don't want the Weary Prisoner to flip. Flip. Ah, it's a classic bluff attack. Charge! Nice. This is going well. Looking at how effectively my deck is playing out, I'm beginning to think I should have mulliganed that last one. So if it stays nighttime, this thing can do some damage. This thing has to attack, but I can chump it. But I'd rather hold up a counterspell in my Cradle of Safety than worry about double spelling with my Steelclad Spirit. Could have even like blocked with both of these and just discarded some cards to avoid damage. Yay! Climbing the totem pole. Man, I'm still ashamed of that first game that I lost. But I'm past it. Like, I'll be fine. It's just, I should not have kept that hand. My deck is too good. I can just mulligan into something absurd. Yikes. Like this one. I have learned my lesson. Even though I'm on the draw, and this could technically be keepable. I mean, that one's pretty terrible to keep. I don't think that would be correct at all. I'm just going to get rid of the Selhoffen Tumor. Hmm. I can currently outrace this guy, but I can't necessarily outrace whatever they play this turn. Got the win. Didn't even need a Faithbound Judge or anything. Just right back into the queue. I was on a mulligan that game, too. Ooh, nice little hand here. Pretty defensive. This guy can gain me some life. Not really at its best here because I don't attack. I guess I do attack. I've got some nice aggressive elements. Just going to play the Spirit, hold down the fort. Ah! Okay. I'm just going to play this Scattered Thoughts or Geistlight Snare, a couple things. I was considering just going Drawskull Infantry, hold up Geistlight Snare, but I feel like getting a Scattered Thoughts deployed is pretty nice. a pretty easy decision. Well, hopefully I draw a few lands, but I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at. It is acceptable to me if you want to pay the one opponent. I'm fine trading everything off. It does have trample, but I'm okay taking a little damage as well. To force them to use their 2-mana pumping. Okay, this game is going pretty well. They decided not to use their Handless Geist. Interesting. They do control an enchantment. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. They're not going to like it when I play this Hullbreaker Horror, I don't think. Oh, I didn't even get to cast it. Yeah. After playing a few games with the deck, I should pretty much mulligan my marginal hands, because if I draw a hand that has Faithbound Judge, I basically just win. So, in retrospect, my first keep was pretty bad, but I learned a valuable lesson. And that lesson is worth losing a game, because the lesson will stay with me for all time, whereas that loss will fade away into the distance. This is why I added an extra planes, because casting a double white card on turn 3 is kind of hard. I should have just attacked first. That was bad. That is going to make it hard to race. Bum 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 bum. Being able to filter is more valuable than 2 damage a lot of the time with the socialite. Cradle of safety, clutch. Okay, opponent. Are you going to concede now, or let me hit you a couple more times in the air and then concede? I feel like this is... I just started staring off into the distance. I feel like this is a game that is over. Maybe they'll keep playing. I don't know. If they... Yeah, I think they're just gonna let this one end, and so I'll see you folks in the next round. Welcome to another round. We're actually going to keep this one because we have Faithbound Judge. The last opponent just rage quit, so they just timed out a couple times. I didn't really do anything. Wow, the lamppost pet. Like, if my first hand in the first game it had a Faithbound Judge, it would have been worth keeping, I think, but... Oh, no. Come on, Island. Okay. In the Judge we trust. I've never loved Rodale or Epicure, despite people raving about its talents. Let's just hope this is good enough and then we draw an island soon. So I have 8 islands. I have another Faithbound Judge. Got other white cards. Those are all fine draws here. If they really wanted to not draw a non-land, they should have... Oh, they should have maybe sacked it first. I don't know. Wow. Just wow. Oh, I'm in trouble. Right here in River City. The games I lose are the ones where I draw no islands. Oh, man. Thank you. Well, we're gonna lose. I think it was a reasonable keep. I will say, getting to play the game is a key part of being able to win the game. That is a good scone. Enjoyable for sure. The only games I've lost are the ones where I never draw an island. Easy keep. The Comer. Yeah, I'll counter that. I don't care about their 1/4. Not really concerned about the Blood Fountain. It's pretty slow, and by that point, I'll have my whole Breaker Horror down. We're doing this because this way we avoid giving them 3 blood tokens, which means that their Voldaren Bloodcaster won't flip very easily. So if I draw land, I can jam the horror. If I don't draw land, I can use Retribution in whatever I draw. So I'm in good shape here. Just to get 1 creature, that's wild. If they'd played the land first, they would have been able to play the Bloodcaster. This game's pretty over, I think. Okay. I don't really care about the guest. The fact that they have 2 bloody betrayals, kind of surprising. Sure. If they don't block, I'll just finish them off with the Cradle of Safety. I just like holding up the Cradle of Safety. Oh, that would have been smart. I could have Cradled of Safety and returned my other Cradle of Safety to my hand, and then I could never have my guy killed. That would have been smart. I didn't even consider that at the time, but it would have been cool. Charge! Okay. It's getting intense. At 5 wins or something? I think I have potential to get 2 more wins with this deck. But I only have 1 more loss to give. Exciting stuff. Five and 2. I wonder how folks think we're gonna do. If you are keen on making any predictions, let me know in the comments. Oh no. I'm gonna mulligan. I've learned my lesson. Can't keep these. I've learned my lesson. The only games I lose are where I don't draw islands. Oh yes, so good, so good. Goodbye, Hullbreaker Horror. That can't be right. Maybe it was. We'll find out, I guess. So they don't have a Flame Blast Bolt. I don't need to attack. I've got the Hullbreaker Horror. Gosh, darn it. Angie is impossible to beat. I've never beaten that card. That card is actually unreal. So strong. Just unbelievable. Actually unreal. I need something to cast on my next main phase so this thing doesn't flip. Oh, that's cute. Wow. I'm just going to make sure I hit my land drops. Hullbreaker Horror, I could let this flip and then let it attack into my Hullbreaker Horror. That would have been a good card to discard to the blood token, then the Weary Prisoner would flip. Okay. I think we got this one. With Angie dead, there's nothing we can't do. They should not have attacked with their Angie because they just have like so much potential damage if they keep that thing around, especially with the persistent specimen. It's like really hard to beat. They just drain me for like 1 billion. No. Oh my gosh, imagine if they'd had the Angie now. I would have just totally lost by 1 billion miles. I just think they're a little bit of a newer player. Why would you play your land there when you have 2 blood tokens out? Happens. Everyone has to learn. Everyone starts somewhere. I think against a lot of players, I would have lost this game, though. I should have bounced the specimen. That would have been better. Then they could have just discarded it to a blood token, so probably not. I think that's why I didn't do it. Got him. Never seen that card cast before. And that's pretty much exactly why. I think they could have won that one. Boom. 6 wins. For all the marbles. To determine whether or not this deck is the ultimate success or just not good enough. Though obviously this deck is good enough. It's got 3 insane rares in it and 2 Brian Comers, but hoping for both colors of mana. Tabata. Easy keep. On the play, both colors. What could go wrong? I think we're going to discard Brian Comer. Oh my goodness, the Cloaked Cadet. I think I'm going to get rid of this island with the blood token. That would have been a good time to sack my blood token. Because I could have hit a Geist Snare. Yikes. Okay. That's why I didn't want to risk the judge. I can block that with the Sellhoffen tumor. It feels strangely close. Cloak Cadet actually doing major work. No. Jeez Louise. So if I let that resolve, I'm gonna be able to deal with that, I think. They have how many humans? One. I have to get the horror down this turn. No. Oh, that's so brutal. I need to draw literally any spell pretty much. Turn target non-land permanent. I can't return that one because it has ward, and so I lose. That's so unlucky. Gosh. Oh, that's so brutal. Where did I make my big mistake? Clearly, it was when I Fierce Retribution their flyer that was going to be not a huge issue going forward. I should have just, if I had not killed their 2/5, maybe I would have been fine. Feels bad. I mean, they had, this card's a nutty card. Maybe I just had to use my Siphon Essence on that after all. If I Siphon Essence that, I don't get to play my Hullbreaker Horror for another turn. They just, yeah, I think that's just how it goes sometimes. I've lost a lot of games with Hullbreaker Horror in play. I don't think I've ever beaten it, but I lose with it all the time. Classic situation. Well, a little bit of a disappointing finish for a deck that seemed so strong, but I mean, I guess that's just how it goes in this format. Yeah. If you made it all the way till the end of the video, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more draft content, and comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. To let me know you made it all the way to the end, leave hashtag ultimate judgment, because this is probably the most judgment that's ever been judged in this format. Yeah, let me know what you thought of the video, any thoughts you had on the format as a whole. Also, maybe in that last game, instead of quad blocking, I was supposed to just block with Faithbound Judge or just take the damage from their guy, because losing a bunch of 1/1s was not ideal. And if I block with Faithbound Judge, then it's still a 2 for, like, they kill my Faithbound Judge, but I kill their 2/4 as well. And then it makes the game a lot easier for myself. That was maybe the correct line. I could have also, I was thinking about doing it, but I could have just waited on casting my Fierce Retribution until after blocks had happened. But I thought that I could stop them from getting a counter on their guy. Which I guess I could have if I had responded in the right way. But I guess I just blew it, so I think they drew their card, and then I killed it, which was just bad. I think I can respond to the training trigger and kill it before they put a counter on, and then I'm fine. And then I block their 2/4, and then they kill it with whatever they had. And then I still have a bunch of creatures in play and my Hullbreaker Horror in hand to eventually stabilize. So yeah, I could have won that last game, but poor play cost me. Wasn't thinking very well. It's okay. Disappointing. I lost the first game for not mulliganing properly, and then I lost that one for poor play, so could have ended on a trophy, but I let the deck down. Feels bad. Oh well. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you next time.